In previous video lectures, we have learnt about different parameters of simple harmonic motion. We will use those and we will solve few problems in this video session. We have a question displayed on the screen. A particle executing simple harmonic motion has angular frequency 6.28 second inverse. Angular frequency mean omega. It is given omega is equal to 6.28 second inverse and amplitude A is equal to 10 centimeter. Amplitude of SHM is given 10 centimeter. Find, you are supposed to calculate time period, maximum speed, maximum acceleration, and the speed when displacement is 6 centimeter from the main position, and the speed when t is equal to 1 by 6, assuming that motion starts at rest at t is equal to 0. Now we will use one by one concept and we will discuss. We will first find out time period. So from given data we have omega is 6.28 second inverse. So as we know, omega is equal to 2 pi by capital T, which is 6.28. So this is equal to 2 pi is nothing but 6.28 divided by capital T is equal to 6.28, and this gives you time period T is equal to 1 second. Pi is 3.14. 3.14 multiplied with 2 is 6.28. 6.28, 6.28 gets cancelled. So time period for the oscillation is 1 second. So first one we have got time period for the oscillation. It is 1 second. Next you are supposed to calculate maximum speed. What is formula for maximum speed? V maximum is equal to A omega. V maximum is equal to A omega. So V maximum can be written as A is amplitude. Amplitude is 10 centimeter and omega is given 6.28 second inverse. This is equal to 62.8 centimeter per second, because the unit of amplitude is given in centimeter. Velocity, maximum velocity of the particle is 6.28 centimeter per second. Next, number 3, you are supposed to find out maximum acceleration. What is formula for maximum acceleration? Maximum acceleration is omega square into A. Of course it is, omega square into A. This is maximum acceleration. So A maximum is equal to minus of omega is 6.28 whole square into amplitude, it is 10 centimeter. This is nearly 6.28 into 6.28. It is, you can multiply this and you can write it here. If you calculate 6.28 whole square, it is 39.5 approximately, and into 10 centimeter gives you 395 centimeter per second square. This is maximum acceleration of the particle, and this is in centimeter per second square. Next, fourth, you are supposed to calculate that's the speed when displacement is 6 centimeter from mean position. So whenever you want to find out the velocity or speed when position is given, you will use this equation. V is equal to omega under root A square minus X square. X is position. In this case, position is given as 6 centimeter. Substitute those all values here. V is equal to 6.28 under root A square is 10 square minus 6 square. X is 6. And this is in centimeter per second. It is 6.28 under root 100 minus 36. 100 minus 36 is 64. Root 64 is 8 square. This is 6.28 into 8 centimeter per second. This is velocity of the particle when it is at a displacement of 6 centimeter. Next, last one, it is the speed at t is equal to 1 by 6 second. Assuming that motion starts from rest at t is equal to 0. You are supposed to calculate speed of the particle when t is given as 1 by 6 second. So whenever a particle is starting from mean position at rest, you can give displacement equation as y is equal to a sine omega into t, because he is mentioning particle is starting at rest position when t is equal to 0. That's the reason why you are taking it sine omega t. If the particle is starting at extreme position, then you should not take sine, you should take it as cos. Okay, according to given condition, I am taking y is equal to a sine omega t, because particle starts from rest at the mean position when t is equal to 0. Now from this you can calculate velocity v is equal to a omega into cos of omega into t. So velocity v can be written as 10 centimeter, omega is 6.28 second inverse into cos of omega is 6.28 into time taken is 1 by 6 second. Okay, approximately you can cancel this 6.28 into 6. V will be equal to 62.8 into cos of 6.28 divided by 6. 616.64 24. Remained is 4.0. 6636. Remained is 4, again 6636. You can write it as cos of 1.47. So V is equal to 62.8 into cos of 1.47 centimeter per second. So cos of 1.47 value you need to substitute here, so that you will get velocity V. Cos 1.47, it is 62.8. Cos of 1.47 is nearly 0.999 centimeter per second. 0.999 can be written as 1. Therefore, V is equal to 62.8 centimeter per second. This is the speed when time is at 1 by 6 second. So this model is quite different from those problems which we have discussed earlier. And we will be using uniform circular motion, like the projection of the particle which is moving in the circular path. It executes SHM. The components of the vector are executing SHM. We will use that concept and we will solve this problem. A particle is starting from a by 2 and moves towards positive extreme as shown in the figure. That means it is mean position, and this is extreme position. Particle is starting at this point. It is starting at a by 2, and starting from a by 2 to where it is going? It is going towards right side. So it is going towards right side. You are supposed to write down equation for SHM. So in order to represent this, I'll just take one circular path, and this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now where is initially particle starting? Particle is starting at position a by 2. Now this is O and this is A, and this distance is a by 2, right? This is a by 2. A particle is starting at the position a by 2. That means particle is initially at this point. You can consider that particle is at this position initially, right? And what it is given, particle is traveling towards positive extreme point. It is not traveling towards mean position. It is traveling towards positive extreme point. That means particle is coming towards this plus a. So therefore, clockwise rotation you are supposed to take. Suppose if the particle is going towards negative amplitude, towards origin or towards that mean position or towards minus a, then the same should be taken in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now this is the position of where particle is starting. Now I want to write down equation of motion for simple equation of motion of this particle. So what I do, I'll construct one triangle here. This is the triangle, and this length is obviously a amplitude, and this is initial phase of the particle. This phase I will be representing it with pi. Pi is the phase. I can write, because this length is known to you, this length is known to you, it is a by 2. I can write cos pi is equal to a by 2 divided by a. A and a gets cancelled, which is left with 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but cos 60. Therefore, pi is equal to 60, which is equal to pi by 3 radian. So what is initial phase of the particle? Initial phase of the particle is pi by 3 radian, and particle can start at any particular point. Like it is, we are assuming that particle is starting from mean position, and it is starting from what we say a by 2 position. Therefore you need to introduce one phase difference for that equation. So I can write down equation for SHM as y is equal to a sine of omega into t. See here, if the particle is right side from the mean position, you will take phase difference positive. If the particle is left side of the mean position, you will take phase difference negative. In this case, we should take phase difference positive because particle is right side of the mean position. So it is plus phase. What is the phase of the particle? It is pi by 3. So this is equation for particle executing simple harmonic motion. Y is equal to a sine omega t plus pi by 3. So particle is moving along x-axis actually. So just you replace this with x. X is equal to a sine omega t plus pi by 3. This is how you can represent motion of the particle. SHM can be represented as motion of the particle in the circular path, and this is said to be a phasor diagram. And solving problems with phasor diagrams become very simple. A particle, not two particles executing simple harmonic motion of same time period but different amplitudes along the same line. One starts from mean position having amplitude A, and other starts from extreme position having amplitude 2A. Find out the time when they both will meet. So you are supposed to find out the time when those two particles will meet each other. So it is that there are two particles. Like this is particle 1, and there is another particle. This is another particle. These are the two particles. Two particles are executing SHM of same time period. The time period is same, but they have different amplitudes along the same line. So this is the line. This is first one, and the second one, it is this. Amplitude of the second one, in, let me take it as a by 2. Amplitude of the blue color one, I am taking it as a. Oh, no, 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 no. It is mentioned that having amplitude a and 2a. Amplitude is a and 2a. So therefore, I'll write this as 2a and this as 2a, and the first one amplitude is a and amplitude is a. So these are the two particles executing SHM the same line. Okay. Now along the same line, one starts from mean position having amplitude a and the other starts from extreme position. So that means blue color particle is starting from this position and it is going in this direction, and brown color particle is starting at mean position and it is going extreme position. One is starting from mean position and other one having extreme, starting at extreme position. So you can take this brown color particle, it can go either in this direction or it can go in backward direction. That is not mentioned here, so we can take it as observation. Find out the time when they will both meet each other. So when first one is oscillating, second one is also oscillating the same line, at one time or the other time, those two particles will meet each other. So in order to meet each other, like it takes some time. We need to now find out that time period. So for that, what I do, I'll just represent these two motions in the form of a circle. This is motion of the first particle, and this is motion of the second particle, right? Now I can take their amplitudes as a and 2a. This is y-axis. First particle is starting at this position, at extreme position, and the other particle, brown color particle, is starting at mean position. So it can be starting from mean position. So we are taking displacement along x-axis. So when the particle is traveling in the mean position and we are taking reference x-axis, so its x component will be 0. Therefore, particle starts from this position. Brown color particle is starting at mean position. Blue color particle is starting at this position, and this particle is going in this direction. Likewise, this particle is also going in this direction. Okay. At one time or other time, see what is the phase difference between those two. Phase difference between these two particles will be like the phase difference between these two particles is 90 degrees exactly, because one is starting at mean position and the other one is starting at extreme position. So we will now consider that those particles take some time t in order to cross each other. So let the time taken by particles to meet each other is t second. I can now write that t as angle traveled divided by omega, because as we know angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi by capital T. So I want to find out time taken, that will be equal to 2 pi by omega. What is this 2 pi? 2 pi is the angle, total angle traveled by those two particles. So that angle you need to substitute in the numerator. Omega is angular frequency. You can substitute that here so that you will be getting time taken t. So let me consider The first particle is traveling a distance theta, like its angular displacement covered is theta. As one particle is starting at mean and the other one is at extreme, angle between those two phases will be 90 degrees. So if first one is making an angle theta, in the same time second one will be traveling an angle pi. Second one will be traveling an angle. Okay. Now you are taking this triangle. Take this triangle. This triangle. Right? So if I take this triangle, I can write cos theta, a cos theta. So this is a actually. This component become a cos theta and this component become a sin theta. Right? And this angle will be obviously 90 minus theta. And what about this total length? Its total length is 2a. This 2a can be resolved into components, like one along this and the other one along this. This is 2a cos pi and this is 2a sin pi. Okay. But what is sin pi? Sin pi can be written as 90 minus theta. So pi can be written as 90 minus theta, or you can write it as theta can be written as 90 minus pi, vice versa. So what I do, this angle I am considering it, and for this I am writing it as a cos theta. A cos theta is this length. This is length a cos theta. I am writing it here, which I am denoting it with EF. Likewise, for the same particle, for this bigger, like first particle which is going over here, if you are taking that particle, this length can be written as 2a sin pi. Right? So this is 2a pi value. It is, of course, this is angle pi, right? So this is 2a. I can write it as a horizontal component, and this is one thing we'll do. We'll change that angle so that it will be balanced with each other. 2a sin theta. So this will be theta. This is theta. So both you are taking the triangle. So a cos theta will be equal to 2a sin theta. So from there I can write theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. So time taken t will be angle, total angle traveled is pi by 2 minus theta divided by omega. This is the final answer for time taken by these two particles to travel each other. Look here. Mass of the particle is given 0.50 kg and this is executing simple harmonic motion under force F is equal to minus 50 into x Newton. This is restoring force. If the particle crosses the center of oscillation with a speed 10 meter per second, center of oscillation mean position. So velocity at mean position is given. Velocity at mean position is given as 10 meter per second, and velocity at mean position is maximum. Therefore, it can be equated to a omega. You are now supposed to find out amplitude of the motion. You need to calculate amplitude of the motion. Now, take this as equation number 1. Take this as equation number 2. In order to find out the amplitude, you should know this omega. I should calculate this omega. So what I do from equation 1, F is equal to minus k into x and this is equal to minus 50 into x. What is the value of k? K is equal to 50. But what is k? K is equal to m omega square, which is equal to 50. Omega square is equal to 50 divided by mass of the particle is 0.50. 0.50 kg. That is 50 divided by 50 into 10 power minus 2. This 50 and this 50 gets cancelled. Omega square is equal to 100. And what is the value of omega now? omega will be equal to 10 radian per second. So omega value we have got it as 10. V maximum it is equal to A omega, which is equal to 10. What is A here? 10 divided by omega, 10 by 10, which is equal to 1. So amplitude A is equal to 1 meter. This is equation for value for amplitude. Very simple to understand. Students, a mass is attached here to spring, and this spring constant is K. And as this mass is attached over here, it will be in its equilibrium position. So I can write it as at equilibrium. Force acting in downward direction should be equal to force acting in upward direction. Force acting in downward direction is gravitational force, that is mg, which is equal to force acting in upward direction, it is spring force, because spring pulls it in upward, and that will be equal to k into x naught, where x naught is equal to equilibrium length. It is equilibrium length. This is first step. Now what you are doing is you are taking this mass and you are just elongating it in downward direction by a distance x. So you are bringing this mass downward by length x. As a result, this mass comes to new position. And when this mass is coming to this new position, there will be, of course, gravitational force which is acting in downward direction, and there will be an upward force which is acting, and that is a spring force. Right? It is equal to spring force. Now there is some net force acting at the bottommost point, and that net force will be in which direction? In upward direction. So I can write F net is equal to spring force minus gravitational force mg. Let me take this as equation. This is equation number 1. Let me take this as equation number 2. But what is this spring force? Spring force F is equal to K into, already in its equilibrium position it have length x naught. Again it is pulled by distance x. Therefore what is the total distance over there? X naught plus x. So therefore it is x naught plus x is equal to x. This is the spring force. So I can now write F net is equal to m into a, which is F written as k into x naught plus k into x minus mg. That is equation number 3. Now put 1 in 3. Ma is equal to kx naught can be written as mg plus kx minus mg. Plus mg minus mg gets cancelled. Ma is equal to k into x. Ma is equal to k into x, but here F net force is in upward direction. So A can be written as k by m into x. So this can be written as omega square into x. So from here you can write omega is equal to under root k by m. Of course, everywhere here minus should be there. So according to sign convention, and that minus I'm writing it here. So omega can be under root k by m. From this, you can write it as 2 pi by capital T is equal to k by m, and T will be equal to 2 pi under root m divided by k. This is equation for time period of simple harmonic motion, and it is only dependent upon mass of the object and the spring constant k. This is independent of gravitational force. It is independent of acceleration due to gravity. So whenever a mass is attached with spring, its oscillation time period is independent of acceleration due to gravity. It only depends upon force constant of the spring. This is the way you are able to find out time period of the mass which is attached with the spring, it will be executing simple harmonic motion, and time period is 2 pi under root m by k.